I'm not.
Tape's rolling. Uh-oh. Don't let anybody in this place. Picked a hell of a day, Duke.
I know.
How's it going, Zeke?
Just let me make my classic intro. I got several people going to be listening to you through the website.
All right. Quiet on the set, boys and girls. Getting ready to go live on the radio. Zoom Room Video Communications brought to you by the BMC.
Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia, and no other freaking better place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch with no other than the dynamic duo, Laz and
Greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
And this is Jack. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where we interpret the news so you don't have to do anything other than question your own personal life choices and ours as well. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a day.
Greetings and welcome to today's show. It is Taco Tuesday right here on NBNN. It is February 25th. We're 2 days away from release 75, 3 days away from the beginning of the new land rush. And we're here to give you all the news, all the skinny, all the rigmarole, all the crazy stuff that's happening with the new land rush right here on today's show, or at least started in yesterday's show. Of course, we got the announcement over the weekend, what was going on. Got some new updated information for you boys and girls out there. And just a lot of other really crazy, wild things happening out there.
We're not responsible for any of it.
We're not responsible. I didn't do it. I didn't break it. I don't take any responsibility for any of it.
Well, now look, I got just one question about all of that.
Oh, hello, Duke.
What's going on, my friend? What is the damn problem?
What is the damn problem? Just another news day here in Shroud of the Avatar, you know.
Yeah.
We got all sorts of craziness going on. New Bard stuff coming in. I got some updated information on the Bard stuff. Got a little caught up on the information. There is going to be music associated with it. Some possibly different instruments will have better effects, including more cowbell. That's right. Got to have the more cowbell in there. And, he's still tinkering with it. First thing, just want to get out there is just the latest blurb I saw was that we're sitting here on Tuesday and there's no release 75 QA notes, questions, what have you, posted out there for anybody to peruse yet. And the question is, where's the notes?
What? There's supposed to be notes for the QA server?
No, well, there's supposed to be the release 75 pre-notes. What's coming up,
Notes? What are these things? What are these things that normally come out beforehand?
But, we're looking for them. When we have them in our hands, we'll get them to you. Hello out there in the Farina Shadow Storms, Famines. See Thradia out there. She's in the studio as well. Who else we have out there? Crafty Method, Hecondis. and many
engineer.
others.
Yeah.
We got
lots of people.
Engineer here today in studio with us and on the set. Welcome, Engineer and Duke Ezekiel Cooper. Of course, always shows up when the interesting stuff's being talked about out there. I don't know how you
Yep.
do it.
I got my big spoon and I'm ready to stir the shit, man.
Okay, so let's talk about Land Rush.
Yes, we're going
Because-
back to the Land Rush guidance post from
Yes.
yesterday.
So we got that. So don't forget that's going to start. Bracket 1 starts February 29th. Goes for 3 days. There's 7 brackets. Then they'll start adding those towns to the overworld. You get to choose 1, 2, or 3. You have to email or message Elgarian with the information, because creating a form is too complicated.
Ooh,
Then-
my.
Yeah. Then from there, massive change in the policy. Massive.
Oh, let's do tell. Do tell.
So all the way on page 4 of this stuff, Elgarian turned around and made the statement that the $500 reservation fee is now equal to owning a holdfast.
What reservation fee? Now I'm behind the
So-
times.
Now you're behind the times. Here you go, Zeke.
The
Look
folks
at that
who
image
bought-
inside.
Yeah, the folks
So-
who bought the reservations for episode 2 towns put $500 down, and
And
Oh yeah. Now I'm tracking. I'm on it now.
got you.
Yeah.
But they are
So,
now all
the-
proud owners of Holdfast,
Holdfast.
for that
So-
$500.
that is correct. And so even though the initial reservation fee, because that is what it was billed as, episode 2, player-owned town with overland access reservation. And in the notes, it says the cost of this reservation goes toward the total cost of the player-owned town.
Oh,
Closer to
my.
episode 2 launch, you will be able to upgrade this reservation to the pot size of your choosing.
Okay, now where does that leave the guys who have the transfer?
They
The
just
transfer is still a transfer.
Just
Yeah.
like
Okay,
they
all right. So all
always
you got to
have
do is
been.
just kind of write in. You just write in, say, okay, I want to transfer this, and bingo, there it is, right?
Well, yeah,
So-
you'll go through the transfer process in the order that you are listed in the actual
Yeah.
spreadsheet. Now, if you look at the actual spreadsheet, you'll notice the first 4 people who had reservations are actually overland upgrades. So these are people who are upgrading, not even who bought, but are just up. Most of the top ones are right off the bat are upgrades. So these are going to
So
be
all
people-
50 of them, all 50 of these $500 reservations sold out. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
So
all
there are
50
now
of them.
Hold on,
50.
hold on.
50.
Really?
Okay, let me get my Big Chief tablet and my
Tablet
crayons out real quick.
So,
Yeah.
so $50 or 50 different players.
That's $25,000
that-
bucks.
Yes, it is. Because the upgrade to a holdfast was 750. So 250 times 50.
No, the upgrade
Is-
to a holdfast was 400 to 900.
Thought it was
Well, anyway, that's going to move
I thought
us.
a holdfast was 900. So 400. So
So that'll,
50
that'll
times
move us to
$20,000
Yeah. The next
right
point.
there wiped out.
Well, potentially $20,000.
Potentially 20,000 if all of the people that had reservations actually purchased a player-owned town. If they went through with that purchase.
It's amazing to me how this has now transpired since episode 1.
Well,
this $500, and it can be upgraded on.
Well,
Versus the people
therein
who are
lies the rub, and that's what I want to
Now,
get to next. If you
but
upgrade your town to the
from a
next level,
holdfast to a hamlet, so $500 minus $1,450 is what?
yes, you will still
say
have
that
to pay.
again.
Basically, you'll still have to pay the
$950.
$400 difference when you want to
Plus
upgrade that
plus
town,
the upgrade.
plus
Yeah.
the upgrade fee to the hamlet. So I just want all those new homeowners or POT owners to understand that if they have this town now, if they want to go up to the next level, it's gonna cost them. So that's the news that I really want to get across to everybody. And now this brings us to the cost of the upgrade now with the new Kodos, Kodos only. Taking advantage of upgrade sales and Kodo sales, you can get an increased break on the actual overall cost of that, which is a boon to those new players. But again, the question was why and when did it get decided that the $500 reservation was going to be full ownership? I gotta say that one of the reasons why I didn't go in on episode 2 towns was because how it was broken up, and I didn't know if I would have the $400 to upgrade it later on. I had the money to put the reservation down, but I said, well, 6 months down the line, I may not have $400 floating around. I don't want to think with that. So, now you sort of feel a little gypped that way. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here.
Well, I mean, okay. Here's the bottom line. Okay, is it just as much?
For the follow.
Is it the same amount of money to upgrade from a hamlet to the various other sizes of a POT as it was in episode 1? That's the bottom line.
When it comes actually down to it,
with the sales and the Kodo sales, it's going to be cheaper.
Yes, but if you're talking about the actual dollar figure, yes, it actually balances out in the end, technically. But I just think
that leads into like several interesting discourses. Because for one, the 50 overworld purchases that are brand new player-owned towns. We spoke with several owners yesterday in our Discord channel after the show. Some of them are happy that the $500 is there because they did not know if they are going to be able to afford the upgrades. At the time, they had the money, but then later on,
again, that
due
was
to
one
life,
one of my original considerations. And being a town owner to begin with, I just said, you know what, I'm not going to worry about that because now.
All right, so I'm here kind of playing devil's advocate. What is it that you guys just said was the $500 hold for? Is that a hamlet or a hold?
That's the hold
fast. Hold fast.
Okay. So do they have to put up the other $400 to actually claim that hold fast? Was the $500 just a reservation?
No.
So they actually got a hold fast for $500.
$500.
Absolutely.
Whereas if you
the hold fast
for a
it's
episode
900.
1,
it's 900.
Yeah,
it's 900.
And if you got in on those POTs early on, that was $750.
And again,
right,
when you go to upgrade that $750 POT, you still have to pay the $900 difference. You still got to pay that $150 before you can upgrade to the next level. I'm also in that situation. So it's a little elbow it's a nudge that just nudges a little bit in the gut there and goes, man, that hurts. But
it hurts in lots of different ways.
Well,
mostly it hurts me the most, not because you have to remember I sold all my player-owned towns, so I am not a POT owner. I do not have any desire to own a POT anymore. It hurts me because they lost out on potentially $20,000.
Potentially
potentially $20,000 they just lost.
Well,
out
given
on.
given the amount of time that that POTs have been kind of dormant, why wouldn't they go ahead and charge the full rate?
Well,
that's a good question. Or even hike it up a little bit. Maybe $1,000 to hold up a reservation.
Well, the counter to that one is simply because they've been so dormant, is the value still there? So they may have predicted that it was actually better to go down to
follow again.
Absolutely. I mean, supply and demand. I mean, if you don't have, don't have it out there.
Well, that actually leads into a greater problem of episode 1 POTs and the percentage of either completely empty or just vanity POTs.
Mostly vanity.
I
can tell you that from a POT owner standpoint. Mostly
majority of the
vanity. Absolutely.
But
I got a
But at the same time,
I'm tracking.
People,
you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Yeah. But
no.
A lot of people went into this as, okay, I want to provide homes for other people. I want to do everything to support player population. But we still have NPC towns that only have like one resident or two. These are the ones that don't have the full set of shops. We also have like some of the other player-owned or player-run towns that are mostly empty. We have POTs that huge percentage of them are not viable. We also have all kinds of other issues related to lack of a player base. Realistically, that's what it is.
Well, see, I got to argue that there. Okay, when you say that, well, you got these people who bought these towns, so if they've got plans with them, you can't say what their plans are or not for those
I can say this.
I know some people who are actually looking to use them for adventuring areas because the new Inky system's coming in, and that's all they want to use them for. So that's a subjective look at that. But before we go
but at the same time, that wasn't a brand new pot purchase. That was something that's due to other circumstances. That is now what the idea has become.
Well, again, gonna open up a giveaway. Gonna be giving away an Obsidian Potion board! I love free shit to get in on the action. And chance to win your choice of potion.
There are 136 possible slots for overworld maps. Okay. 136 possible. Because if someone never claims that,
What are you talking about?
Well,
on the new map?
Economist made the statement, did you see the amount of pots going into Mistrander? It's like ick on a fish, all the dots.
Oh, well, we have some pictures here. Let's bring up some of those pictures of what it looks like. I took a trip out earlier this morning just to get a picture of what some of this looks like out there, because this is already out on the QA server.
Can you throw that into Discord as well?
It is. Scroll up.
You'll see 3 pictures where the towns.
Yeah.
already pre-placed on the landscape, and you can actually see what they look like, where their positions are going to be. Let me get over here. I've got to get the
and just for the person that tries to claim the one right by the boat, that's an NPC town.
That's an NPC town, yeah.
And so the pot looks a little bit different than an NPC town. So that way they know what the difference is.
So this is just for the people who have reserved. Is that correct?
Well, there's 50 reservations.
There's 50
then
people
you had,
who are brand new owners of towns. That's
yeah.
it.
The hold
all the
50
rest,
new hold fast over.
All
then
the
there's
rest are transfers.
50 overrolled transfers.
So if you have a transfer token, you can use it on them.
Yes. If you did that, and there is a spreadsheet open with the way that people actually registered, as well as their voucher. And I can't resize these things in order to actually look at them.
What are you looking for?
Well, I wanted to see what the links are for the voucher. Well, it's a link to the different voucher types.
Oh, it's in the store.
Yeah. But I wanted to see who it was. And then, so you had, in the store, you had...
under game services.
Yes. You had 50 potential player-owned towns with overland access. All 50 of those were sold. Then you had 50 possible overland transfer reservations, but only 30 of those were purchased.
20 still available, folks.
20 still available. So that is actually 70 possible towns on the overworld map, not 136.
Okay, so where do you find the spreadsheet for these transfers reservations?
Oh, that was linked up in the original post. I'll give you a link to it right here in the green room. There we go.
Yeah, so...
Anybody else?
And then you had nested town to nested town as well, but those don't really matter because they're nested towns. Oh wait, I'm sorry. There was also player-owned town upgrade reservations.
That's take a nested town and put it on the overworld in Second Land. That's right.
So actually make that 120 possible slots. Or 130 possible slots. So that's 100.
There are actually 5 of 5 sold of player-owned town nested. Is that right? 5 of 5? Only.
Yeah. 5 of 5.
Anyway, moving right along. Exclamation. I love free shit. We were actually going to get started off on the topic from Engineer. And through this topic, we've come to find out some even more interesting changes coming to a game near you. So hold on to your seats, folks. Get in on the raffle as we delve into some of the newest, biggest, and other interesting changes happening here in Novia.
Yes, and Engineer is here with us.
Hello.
Hello, Engineer. And you are the Datendrock on the forums.
He's upset.
He is upset.
He's concerned. He's concerned, yes.
Yeah.
But we got some interesting new information out of here, and let's get to the meat and potatoes of what's going on here now that we've got some questions asked and some hard answers for the folks.
Well, you got the post up, so I might as well explain myself. So basically, I looked at the overall placement of where the new lands are going to be, where the pots are, and so forth. And I just said to myself, isn't this way in the wrong part of the game in order to be encouraging people to want to go there, to participate? How are they even going to find it way up in the corner? I looked at it and said, well, this is kind of obvious that this could be dramatically improved, but why so far up in the northwest part of the map? So for people who know me, I'm very, very detail oriented, and so when I get frustrated, I draw what this looks like, which is a pile of rubber bands. But the idea behind
got a
it,
chart with lines and circles and notations.
Not a pile of not
It's a
rubber
pile-
bands.
Pile of colored rubber bands at that.
yeah, this is what
For
paint
anybody
looks
who
like when
wants
it's
to catch
frustrated.
up here, yeah.
So, so to explain what I did is to show the upper right corner shows tier 5s and tier 4s and so forth, and that it also demonstrates that the galleon that gets you to the location of the episode 2 is right up in that corner, kind of off the roads, across a little boat and so forth. So it's way up in this area that basically says go away. If the place where I'm really concerned about getting new players involved, getting the turnover from new players to retained players to paying players, and get people fully engaged, which is where I'm hoping that these lands should be. That's down in the southeast corner, which is on the complete opposite side of the map. So that's what this whole map that I'm doing demonstrates, is that the area in the southeast is for where the new players are, and where the entrance is complete opposite.
Now, so that actually goes into two different theories. One,
and depending on those, I can add a third.
well, one, episode 2 is supposed to be completely new game set. As far as it's a massive expansion with a completely new quest line that somebody could actually, this was all before the change to free to play. They could actually buy episode 2 and not go to episode 1 lands. They could actually be stuck in episode 2, but episode 2 land mass is supposed to be twice the size of Novia.
No.
And then that changed to episode 2 becoming even more difficult than episode 1. And if it's placed in an area surrounded by tier 5s,
episode 2 is almost twice the size of Novia, according to the folks at
the lands that we've been on so far, those lands are nowhere near twice the size of Novia.
Again, that's
I mean, is that landmass that those 3 islands that we've been on so far, is that twice the size of Novia?
When
did
you
say
look
size
at the
and not twice the area.
expanse that it all takes, and we're not finished yet. By
Right.
the time we're
That's
all
the key
finished,
word.
we're not finished yet. This is just the
Oh, yeah, I know.
beginning of this. We're just scratching the door, Jack. We're not even through the door yet.
Well,
so but that was actually stated. It's not actually twice the size of Novia, but it's a lot bigger in its scale, according to Chris. So,
Yeah.
Definitely seems larger than the Hidden Veil.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right, well-
Hidden Veil, but
Well, now, can I address something real quick about this map that Engineer has put up? All right, from what I'm understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, Engineer, your complaint is not really a complaint, but your observation is that the new players are actually coming into one side of the map. They got to run they got to cover a ridiculous amount of land to get to a POT to live in. And then on top of that, they have to go all the way up to the northwest corner to even get to the episode 2 lands. Is that what your observation is?
Yes.
Elidor,
Okay.
thank you for the follow.
And you can add on to that one, not only once they get into that land, then you also have to get to your pot, that's going to be further down to the post, and then even as you know, as a governor, you have to enter the pot and you have to get to your house in there. So it's
absolutely. Okay, well, and that's what's bringing me to this line of questioning is I want to make sure of what your observation / complaint, if that's what it is, as to what you see with this map. And so I guess my question to you is it a complaint?
Thank you for the follow.
Is it a complaint of new players coming into the Southwest, having to run to the center of the map to find a POT to live in, and then having the episode 2 lands access through the Northwest? Is that an actual complaint?
Not exactly. But you have an observation, which I did point out, which we haven't scrolled down to that point yet. But if you were to go and ask me about what they're doing, if I were a new player and I was being guided, and I can only imagine you have to be guided up to that northwest corner.
Absolutely.
I would probably observe how many towns that I walk past that would shorten my commute along the way. So that's an obvious observation.
So what I'm seeing here is that for a lack of better words, look at it in the fourth dimensional type time frame here. Once you step off of that boat in the northwest corner, or step onto that boat in the northwest corner, and you come into the episode 2 lands, that will be a new location discovered, which will then facilitate zone scroll sales. And then depending on where you have bonded to, or where you have put your bind point to in the new lands, then that will facilitate your recall scrolls. And then depending on how many friends you have that actually reside in those lands and adventure those lands, will then feed into your teleport friend scrolls. Does that make sense?
That was one of my original arguments is, first off, a new player coming in ain't going to be running into the new lands as a new player.
Right.
He's got to go exploring. And
I'm thinking it's an intentional setup to actually vet the new players to get them prepared for the upper tier stuff
say it's all
in the new land.
It's all a moot point at this point.
Oh yeah, it's all moot.
After, thank you, engineer, for bringing this to everybody's attention, because there has been action and change made. So we will get to that. But the original argument, and again, this is all stuff that happened yesterday, and before we go into explaining to you all why this is now a moot, is exclamation, I love free shit. Get in on a chance to win yourselves an obsidian potion reward. You get to choose the potion out of the reward bag.
So part of engineer's thing, this is something we didn't discuss yesterday. Movement speed on the overworld map is way too fast, and there's a woefully insufficient insufficient number of overworld encounters.
You can run from point A to point B unmolested for the most point.
All over the world.
All over the world. And I understand that for people who really have time crunches, unlike some, a couple of news guys that just happen to have no lives and spend a lot of their time around this.
Yeah, well, I got to disagree with that, guys. I mean, when you got new players coming into a new platform, you don't want a whole lot of molestation when they're trying to run across an overworld map. I got to disagree with you guys, because that's an eternity.
But that's why we got the ability to bypass control points, bypass sieges, but the overland encounters, you got to have something. So you have to have the overland encounters.
You've got to have something. And so this is something that I said the other day as far as different types of overworld encounters. You should have. That's funny. You should have something where you have in the woods, you should have more natural encounters. And it should actually have the thing you hear something. Did you want to go investigate? Then the occasional bandits on the road that will actually pull you into the scene because it's something, it's a surprise encounter. You end up with hold on.
That's Jack's
that's
problem.
Easy to fix. Yeah, that's my.
You're listening to the wrong stream.
No, not even.
Anyway,
Last
gotta
change
close
something.
this giveaway and pick ourselves a winner. And that's gonna be Thradia, the lovely Miss Thradia. You got yourself an obsidian potion reward. Congratulations to you.
And now it's all gonna like be red in just a minute as soon as people start talking. You end up with, you need different encounter types. You need different variety as far as like the overworld encounters, and you need more of them. The encounter types that we have right now are pretty much very similar to each other. So there needs to be an entire rethink of it. And I think the movement speed on the overworld map is way too fast, because going from one side of the other of the map to the other, taking 3 minutes and 40 seconds, that makes the world so much smaller. Fast travel makes the world smaller. All of it makes the world smaller. They spent
about to come a whole lot smaller.
Yeah,
agreed, but that's the way it's going to be. I don't think they're going to take that fast travel or the teleportation scrolls out.
Hold on to your hats,
I don't see that,
because we've got one that's going to turn your head upside down here, folks.
Oh yeah.
And, this is something that, we asked for a long time ago, and it's a never say never world out here, but here it comes in just a minute. Going to open up this next giveaway here. Let me close all this out. Congrats to Thradia. There goes your potion. We're going to give away 100 Kodos here at the end of the stream, so exclamation, I love free shit, to get some in-game Kodos. And who do we have on the lot? That's Kaspuk. Kaspuk, grab a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Hang out. Enjoy the show. Thanks to, of course, Engineer pointing this out and, other things. I got some updated stuff like Bards. Bards being tied to episode 2. Cough, cough, hint, hint. Master Trainer located in episode 2. Cough, cough, hint, hint.
Which means the Bard skill really possibly won't go in for a couple more months because they would have to build that scene.
No, he's going to actually have the Master Trainer in sometime soon, he said. I'm going to guess the Master Trainer will be in, but he said he was planning on tying it to episode 2. So that you'll need episode...
Cough.
Yeah, cough, cough.
You ready to tell Zeke why the world is getting so much smaller?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, please blow my mind. This guy.
I'm looking for the rest of the post, and it's
on page 2.
Yeah,
and it was posted by Sanyo.
And after so much discussion, I got to get to page 2 because I just. Sanyo comes back. Actually, Elgarian was the first post, wasn't he? Elgarian had said a little birdie. Yeah, you can read the whole quote from Elgarian first, and then Sanyo's. But here it is, folks. Your world's about to get a whole lot smaller. That's right.
This is from Elgarian. A birdie told me there might be just a galleon at Arduris, Yannaford, and Yeri very soon, and all galleons might be gaining a strange ability known as a drop-down menu. They'll be able to interconnect to each other no matter where they are. So more galleons with Kung Fu drop-down list coming soon. Thank you, Sanyo, on that one. I hope to have a better description for the release notes and might say will be patched in during
Please
release.
no.
And Lazarus and Laz, you were saying to me day before yesterday how I messed up on where I picked.
Yeah, but yours is still not anywhere in that list, by the way. So
Yeah,
Not yet. Not yet.
you're gonna have to petition them for that one. But again, never say never. That's right.
Sanyo did come back and say, it's true. Below is the full list of cross-continent galleons that will be available in our 3 overworld maps. Using one will bring up a list of all the others in a manner similar to the list of signpost teleporters. So Airy, Ardoris, Brittany, Yannaford, Kingsport, No Reach, and Mistrander will all have boats.
Yes, so
Massive
now you'll be able
galleons.
to go from Kingsport to Airy, or Kingsport to Ardoris, or Janiford, which is really Janiford is really
that was always one that was needed. That was always needed.
Yeah, so out of just sheer who'da thunk, and thank you, engineer, just for pointing out the difficulty of that. This is how things get changed, and this is how things get a little sidetracked in the game that we got to stop and take a look.
We still need sailing scenes and
comment
random encounters of pirates
out there says, I wish you had to sit on a boat via schedule, which was something that was originally mentioned for sailing and boating on schedules. But, people, even these days, moon gates have gone the wayside because people don't like standing there waiting 8.5
teleports. The moon gates never really got any traction because in early access, we had the /zone ability and we would just teleport all over the place.
Then they brought in the actual teleportation.
Then they brought in teleport scrolls and then recall scrolls. And then from there, it's one where it's like everything has been fast travel. No real use for the overworld map at all. So,
and the bottom line is that is not going to go away, simply because players that have a limited amount of time to, get their groove on, they've requested this, and I totally understand it. I totally support it.
Absolutely.
Because when you're playing and you're, say you're, 15, 16 years old, and mom's got stuff cooking in there on the stove. Well, you've got 30 minutes to play the game. You want to go do as much as you can before mom comes and slaps you in the back of the head and says, get your ass off the computer and come to the table.
You have to be realistic about the Shroud player base. We're almost all adults.
No, man, I gotta disagree.
So
I have got members coming in.
There is many more adults than there are kids playing Shroud.
We have young adults coming into this game every freaking day. I had one just join up just yesterday that found us on the Discord and joined up. I mean,
player base. Average age
30 years old.
Yeah, it's so much
they
higher.
Are still okay. What's your point? Yeah. They're still living at home with mom.
At 30?
Absolutely.
At 54?
Yeah. Laz does live at home. My parents are dead, so never gonna happen. But we do have an older population, which does have more of a disposable income. So the assertion that it's a bunch of 16-year-olds doesn't exactly fly.
That doesn't really nail the demographic of Shroud. I have to agree. The Shroud crowd.
The Shroud demographic is much older.
Much older. I mean, we have some kids, and we see a lot of people saying, "Hey, me, my wife, and my kids play," but they're in the minority. I got to say that much. But anyway, moving right along, is gotta say that this was something that we had asked for back in the day when the boat originally went from Kingsport to Ardoris before they changed it to Brittany, and we said, leave a boat at Ardoris. Why can't we have a boat at Ardoris? Well, we're now going to have a boat at Adoris and several other locations to make your fast travel needs just that much more better. But again, my
4 years later.
yeah, my original argument against and again, just his original post was, by the time they get to the second lands, they're probably going to be fast traveling. I really, in my daily routine, never have much reason to go over to the overworld map because just how my character is played. Engineer, he likes going on to the overworld map, he says, because that's his gaming style. I actually saw a guy streaming the other day, and he was using the moon gates, for crying out loud. So there are people who are actually playing and using those means of travel. So hard to say.
Get the hell out the front door.
I tell you what, man, I just had a good chuckle to myself.
He might have gone for some Ultima nostalgia or something like that.
He was a new streamer, and we rated him the other day. I forget who it was. I just picked the name and sent it. And I usually transfer on over to see what they're up to for a few minutes, and he was using the moon gates, for crying out loud. DC, yes, the overland is actually wonderful. I used to spend a lot of time outside my towns over in Long Fall, standing out there, checking out the sights, and the sights are beautiful. Now, the other thing I wanted to say was, each episode was going to have its own point of reference, and now that we have these new teleporters, that's going to make that so much easier when any new land gets added into the game. As we get past episode 2, well, we're just getting started, but when we get past that and get to episode 3 land, episode 4 land, episode 5 land, we'll have a better understanding now that we're getting through these growing pains of episode 2. But a lot of interesting things happening here with the Land Rush. The Land Rush is starting officially on Friday. Episode 75 is coming out this Thursday, just 2 days away. And hopefully by tomorrow we'll have some release notes to discuss with you folks and talk about some other updated stuff. And of course, if there's anything that you think about that's related to all this stuff and you want to discuss it, feel free to come in and tell us about it. Feel free to join us here live during the news and chime in and tell us what your thoughts are, because that's what we're here to do, is discuss what's going on in and around Shroud of an Avatar, how it affects you and those around you and everybody in general. Because, hey, we're just two idiots who interpret the news so that you don't have to. That's right.
One thing that I'm glad to see in episode 2, Land Rush, that was not in episode 1, all you old timers will remember that patching up and then jumping into the Land Rush, and I'm glad to see that they have set it a day out from the day that you patch.
It's not really a land rush.
It's not
really
like
isn't.
it's lot Land Rush, because
right.
Here, it's just like the original POT selection. You had a spot, you had a form. If you locked everybody could lock their forms, and first come, first serve. They did them in the order that they were, and that was it. And if you waited,
so my question is,
it's not actually a land rush.
Here's a question, and this is for the general public, for those who may have a transfer token. When you patch up to on Thursday, will a transfer token appear in your backpack?
No.
How do you claim these things?
You have to email support at portalarium.com, and from there you turn around and do silly things.
You remember how you originally filled out a form? I want my town in this location with this biome, and and you filled that information out. Well, they've simplified that with the map, and we can go back to that the mist render guidance thread and go right back to post 1, and all of the POTs actually have locations on the map. They're actually all in the map, as you saw on those pictures I showed you. But let me get this picture down, and I'll share it in Discord for you.
Yeah, it's one where it's not an actual land rush. You're not going out and you're claiming your POT. If you're filling out a form and you're messaging Elgarian to say, hey, this is my time to select a lot, and I'm filling out a form, but I'm mailing it
Take
to...
a note to that picture. You'll notice that all the
Elgarian.
towns have numbers on them, so you're just going to submit, I want first placement to be town 1, I want second placement to be town 5, I want third placement to be town 10, and if you get your first, you get town 1. If somebody was ahead of you and got town 1, then they go to your second selection. But
oh my!
Yeah,
yes.
so realistically,
so you're not running out there to place your town. There is no town transfer like that. You just got to tell them where, So it's not like the lot land rush where you had a race to claim a spot.
Yeah,
in a town.
And clicking on it. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you have a transfer token, remember that is a support@portalarium.com email.
Another thing to keep in mind is, I just scrolled on that one. Oh yeah, that the NPC towns most likely, as we understand, are not going to have any player housing in them. So that if that's the kind of land rush you were thinking about, Zeke,
say that again. Say what?
The NPC
towns
will not have any player housing,
and that's a good thing, I think. That they told us in the beginning that they were going to be pushing the public more to POTs, and they're doing exactly that. I'm all for it. I'm all for what they're doing here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But meanwhile, we've got to move on. Don't forget, I love free shit for a chance to win 100 Kodos. And, whoa, what the heck happened there? Got to remind you, we have a little app that resides on the web these days because it's no longer supported in the app stores because it went bye-bye. But it now lives in memory on the website. So if you want to check out the old NBNN app where you can tune into the radios, you can check our podcast, you can shop the marketplaces, or you can see what's going on in the NBNN Shroud avatar community calendar hosted on NBNN.info and brought to us by the folks at Reba Test, because I love free shit and I want you to have some free shit. So you can go ahead and check out Reba Test, click the links in the website, click the links below, click the links in chat, and check it out today.
That's right. You need to go to nbnn.info, click on the calendar button, and look at the aggregated mess of all the Google public calendars related to Shroud that guy knows about. If you have a Google public calendar and you want it hooked up, you do need to email news@nbnn.info. So that way Laz can do something with it eventually. I don't do anything, so all times on the community calendar are Central Time in the real world, but we prefer to refer to it as Nude Britannia time.
Nude Britannia.
Monday through Friday, 12s and 6s around the clock. You need to tune in your ether amplifiers to Wadia Radio Free Britannia to listen to two idiots interpreting the news so you don't have to. And, yeah. 2 o'clock this afternoon, you need to join Sean Silverfoot for the Paxler Town Manager Hour and give him the good old New York hello.
Fish.
No, that's not the New York hello, Laz.
Fish you? No?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with fish. Yeah. 7 p.m. this evening is the 70s at 7 on Wadia Radio Free Britannia. So tune in, listen to some 70s music. A lot of it written by the Bee Gees guy. 10 p.m. On Wadia Radio Free Britannia is the What Good Woman with Waz's Whack, where he covers some walk and roll history. But that's our community calendar for this Taco Tuesday.
That's right. Don't forget, you're tuned in to NBNN right here at NBNN.info, twitch.tv/Cynicist, twitch.tv/NBNN News. And I got to thank this guy over here for telling me that Slobs has actually updated their software, and I'm a happy camper with Slobs again because I actually have control over my slideshow one more time. So I can sit here and talk and keep that on screen as long as I want without it automatically doing what it's doing. So don't forget, if you're catching us in replays on YouTube or on Twitch, click the subscribe, notify, like, all those buttons. Twitch, YouTube, you know which buttons, because they help you stay up to date by keeping us on the air. So please push those buttons. Help support NBNN. Become a patron at patreon.com. Click the links below in either of our streams. Donate to our streams. Cheer in bits. Or you can go to the website through there and donate as well. All sorts of ways to support the streams. The Britannia Mining Company wants you to come check out Black Rock Cove. Black Rock Cove's located in the Quell region next to the town of Exeter and conveniently located next to those mines that you want to be near. So go check it out today. WRFB Radio Free Britannia, bringing you the latest news and entertainment 24/7 around the clock, including us at 12s and 6s Monday through Friday right here on your in-game radio. Skeggy Media, thank you very much for the 100 bits, sending us some love. Thank you very much, buddy. And don't forget, WRFB's got all sorts of great shows throughout the week on the air. Just tune in for all sorts of great stuff because you just never know what you're going to listen to. ShroudMusic.com for ABC file sharing. Yes, file sharing. You can upload and download right there on ShroudMusic.com. So if you're looking to get some music as a bard, because there's apparently going to be music associated. We don't know all the details yet, but I've got some inside information that there's going to be something associated with it. Barding is going to be noisy, Chris has told us, so you're not going to be able to sneak up on your enemies. And Reba Test, where you too can get paid for your reviews. That's right. People want you to test out products, and they'll reimburse you just for giving your honest opinion of their products. All you got to do is go out and check out Reba Test today. You'll get $5 for your first review just for turning in the first one. An extra $5 plus your rebate. I mean, how much, you like free money? You like free products? Check out Reba Test today. Again, click the links below on the website or in chat. Capheus's Wares, where you too can get wood if you're too lazy. He's the other patron saint of crafters out there. Is you got Mom, the patron saint of miners and growers, or people who don't want to grow, and Capheus, who supplies the wood. He's the guy who got all the wood that you'll ever need. He's got boards, he's got timber, he's got beetles, and much more at Capheus's Wares on ShroudMarketplace.com. And don't forget, Shroud Marketplace is the premier place to go for all your RMT transactions. It's no longer available on the forums, but you can go to ShroudMarketplace.com and get your trading on.
That's right. You need to go to shroudmarketplace.com, click on that register button to buy anything from one of over 175 different players' registers as vendors. Each one of those vendors is responsible for setting their own prices and maintaining their own inventory. So you get all kinds of great deals. Anything and everything at Shroud Marketplace, from accounts to game gold, all the way to services. As long as it's not a bannable offense, it can be either bought or sold at Shroud Marketplace. So do yourself a favor, register an account, buy stuff. And then if you have TMS syndrome, you need to click on vendor registration. So that way you can start adding new stuff like that Nightmare Combat belt, Nightmare Combat pet, I should say. Scrolls, BMC rings, anything and everything, including leveling services, Mom's ore refining service, where if you have a lot of ore and you need it turned into ingots, she's got time
Got too much
Sheesh,
ore, not
yeah.
enough time. That's right.
That's right. Yeah. You stay in
And
the mines, give it to her. She'll convert it for a nominal fee. And then she even
gotta
provides the
give a
coke for free.
big shout out to Cleo and Cleo's leveling
yeah.
service
Oh, yeah.
out there. I tell you what, Cleo took me on a little tour last night, and we took one of the newest BMC members with us. He's brand new, 2 days into the game, and we had this guy down in Tartarus, for crying out loud. And
Oh, yeah. You're
racked
playing in
him
the
up.
zombie room in tartar sauce?
Absolutely. We racked him up some nice starting experience to get out and get himself started with. And we took him out on the deed quest, got himself a lot deed and got him settled into the game, and he's a happy camper. But yeah, Cleo, gotta love what you're doing out there, man. As I'll be joining you whenever you're out there, if you don't mind having me.
Oh, yeah. Then anything
Last,
and everything, you
but
do need to
definitely
go to
not
Shroud
least,
Marketplace. Oh, yeah. Shroud Marketplace. Go visit all the shops. Go visit my shop. Go visit
weddings
Laz's
and
shops.
more by me,
Yeah.
because it's not just weddings, it's a whole lot more. Looking for telethon rares, looking for artifacts, looking for bulk or bulk suet. You want to buy a duck? That's right. We've got a little bit of everything in shops, and Shroud Marketplace is the place to go, because hey, I love waking up to money in my PayPal account. And yes, Jack and I have rolled out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning to go ahead and deliver orders, because we want our customers to be happy as well. But meanwhile, it's about time for us to wrap it up and get out of here for today. We're going to go ahead and say thank you to all you folks out there, and pull this last drawing. Got to go ahead and click the button here. What happened?
Who's going to win? Who's going to win?
Well, I have to close it first, and I got to get the credits rolling. But we're going to go ahead and close this giveaway. Giveaway is now closed. Got to thank Skeggy Media for the cheers. Caspuk, Calidor, Dystopia, and who else?
Not me. Lots of people.
Dyslexia and Fun Time for the follows today. Thank you, folks. And of course, thank you all for joining us. Let's pick ourselves a winner. And that winner is Soda Wiz. Soda Wiz, congratulations. You won 100 Kodos. I believe you are Soda Wiz in game as well. If you're not, go ahead and shout it out and let us know. But thanks for tuning in today. We'll be back with more tomorrow, and hopefully the release notes, and we can start covering them. Till then, I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
And we are NBNN. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Clear.